Now, she is the queen of British soul, who we're currently loving as one of the judges on ITV's Starstruck. But Beverley Knight's latest role in the hit West End show The Drifter's Girl sees her at the forefront of one of the most successful groups of the 50s and 60s. Oh, Beverley.
Oh, Beverley, your voice, I get chills.
I know, it's just like goosebumps every single time. It's
brilliant.
It's just incredible. It's so powerful, isn't it? You just
the range and the effortless way. Oh, I just love you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, there's a lot of love in the room for you today.
Really
It's all
What's the
good.
story of that woman you're playing?
So Faye Treadwell is, well, she was a formidable woman, and she picked up the reins of management from her husband George Treadwell, who managed the Drifters initially from their inception. He died in 1967 of lung cancer, and she did something that no other woman was doing at the time. Became their manager and battled her way through, as women often do.
It is an amazing story, because I was thinking before you came on, female singers very much around that time managed by men, because it was like Tina Turner, where she had literally no say in the way things were run. And then Phil Spector, and all the groups that he managed, he moulded them. It's as if they had nothing, you know, it's very much a male role, wasn't it?
I mean, management was seen solely as the preserve of men, and at that time, you know, women were considered to be, you know, just the ornament on the arm of whoever powerful man. But Faye stepped up and she managed the Drifters on her own. And as a trailblazer, you know, she was the one who thought... She was a visionary. She was savvy enough to understand trademarking the name, the Drifters, forming a company to protect the name, so that when people tried to take pieces of it away from her, she could retain it.
She was a clever businesswoman.
But
the extraordinary thing is, this is a remarkable story about a woman that very few people knew anything about, really, considering everything that we've just discussed. Even when you were trying to research the role, it wasn't that easy to try and find a lot about her.
That's right. There was no wiki page to look at. There was a page on George Treadwell, but not Faye. So I spoke to Tina Treadwell, who every bit as formidable as her mum, Faye Treadwell's daughter, and spent a lot of time with her, taking photos and just asking her about her character and everything, so I could get as much as I could about the great woman. Sadly, Faye died in 2011, so I couldn't meet her or anything, but meeting Tina gave me enough of a picture of what Faye must have been like.
As a point of interest, how long did it take you? Because you did your first album, what, in the mid-90s?
That's right.
How long did it take you to fight your way to record what you wanted to do, or to have a say over your production?
Well, from the very beginning, I was always very forthright about what I wanted to do musically, and particularly how I wanted to sound on stage. And, yeah, I came up against it time and time again. I'm sure you know from back in the day what it must have been like as women. Just saying, oh, I have a voice, I have an opinion on my own music, and people going, anyway, you know. It took a long time, years, but nevertheless, I persisted.
Is it something that was easier after you had, for example, in the West End, you're in a show, it's a commercial hit, then your voice counts? Because I could see how in the beginning... when you're new on the new on the West End stage, your voice, it's hard to get your point of view across, because the producers and the money men, and they are mostly men, are going to tell you, well, we know what Phil sees.
I think both in theatre and in music, you know, when you're younger and you're a woman, your voice can disappear amongst the many male voices. You're absolutely right. But the wonderful thing about getting older is you come into your power, so you know how to assert yourself and, frankly, handle a lot of the guys that are around you, and it is mostly guys. And you know, you don't have to be catty and you know, all the other pejoratives that they throw at us as women. You can be assertive, and people tend to listen to you just with that age and with the wisdom that, of course, comes with it. So I feel as though now I'm in a very privileged position. I use that privilege as carefully as I can.
Well, I think that's what's lovely. I'm loving Starstruck.
Thank you.
Me too.
And I love seeing you on the judging panel, because I think you give out such great advice because you've been there and done it. And there's some great singers on there. How is it for you? Are you enjoying it?
So much fun. So much fun. Firstly, everyone who comes on the show can sing. It's a prerequisite. They have to be able to sing because they're emulating some of the great singers of any age. And so to be able to just talk about wonderful voices and wonderful performances, and to be an encouragement, you know, and a support to those people, some of which have never stood on a stage ever, is so joyful. I just love it.
But the transformations are amazing. I mean, the makeup artist, whoever does it, fantastic.
Yeah, there's a whole team dedicated to make sure each transformation is as truthful as it can be, and they do a great job. They really
superstar
do.
experience for all of them, isn't it?
It's
really special. It's, of course, International Women's Day, Beverley. Who are the women in your life that kind of stand out as the trailblazers? I know certainly your grandmother stands pride of place probably in your life. Yes,
she does. Grandma, and there's my mum as well. The fact that she took on the motherhood of my mum and her brother before she had her own children, you know, when my biological grandma was no longer in the picture, just speaks so much about her strength of character to me. And then the decision to move from Jamaica to England, taking 16-year-old mum with her, which gave mum a lifetime in the NHS, but gave mum also, you know, the opportunities that she could then give to us as the three children, her and dad. So if it wasn't for Grandma taking on that role, I wouldn't be sat here talking to you guys and talking to the nation. I think Grandma's wonderful.
Amazing.
And I'd also like to mention really briefly that I gave an award yesterday, Special Recognition Award, to a woman called Debbie Douglas at the Pride of Birmingham Awards. And she profoundly moved me with her fight to see the disgraced Dr. Ian Passerton come to justice. She became the voice of 11,000 women who had been butchered unnecessarily, some of whom lost their lives, to his, you know, false, what do you call it? Diagnosis. Incredible woman. And just thinking about her, a woman who refused to give up on that fight. Just amazing.
That's what
we women are pretty special.
Pretty good.
That is what this day is all about. Beverley, as always, it's such a delight. The Drifters Girl at the Garrick Theatre right now, and of course Starstruck Saturday night, brightening up our Saturday evenings. Lovely to see you, Beverley.
Wonderful to be here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.